For weeks, I had been carefully arranging a long-awaited night out with my closest friends. The past few months had drained me, endless work demands, never-ending chores at home, and the constant effort to keep myself together. My husband, Daniel, had grown distant. We weren't arguing, but the spark between us had noticeably dimmed. So, when a friend suggested dinner and drinks at a new Italian place downtown, I jumped at the idea. A night of laughter, wine, and freedom sounded like the perfect escape. When Daniel asked about my plans, I casually mentioned I'd be out with friends. He nodded, uninterested, and didn't press for details. I hadn't hidden anything, just didn't bother with specifics. I told myself it was harmless. The restaurant was everything I hoped for. Soft golden lights, the faint chime of glasses, gentle music humming in the background. My friends and I slid into a cozy booth, ordered starters, and soon we were lost in laughter and stories. For the first time in ages, I felt like myself again. About half an hour later, I excused myself to the restroom. On my way back, I froze. At a table just across the room sat Daniel. Even from behind, I recognized him instantly. But he wasn't alone. A woman I didn't know sat close beside him, laughing with an ease I hadn't seen from him in months. She touched his hand lightly, and he didn't flinch. He seemed comfortable, even happy. My stomach churned as I ducked behind a pillar, watching them with a mix of disbelief and dread. I had told him I was with friends, leaving out the details. He, on the other hand, hadn't lied at all. Yet there he was, with someone who clearly meant more than just casual company. I forced myself back to my table, plastering on a smile that felt unnatural. My friends chatted on, but my mind kept replaying what I had seen. I couldn't focus. When dinner wrapped up and they suggested a nearby bar, I claimed I wasn't feeling well and left alone. Outside, I lingered in the shadows. Minutes later, Daniel and the woman walked out together. They didn't touch, but their chemistry was undeniable. Their laughter echoed as they disappeared down the street. I didn't follow. I didn't text. I just went home, collapsed onto the couch, and sat in silence. Then my phone buzzed. Still out with friends, his message read. My chest tightened. Had he seen me there? Or was he just covering his tracks? I stared at the screen before typing back a simple, "Yeah, home soon." The next morning, he acted as though nothing had happened, kissed my forehead, made coffee, and asked about my evening. I lied again, telling him it was great. He nodded, scrolling through his phone as if life was perfectly ordinary. But something inside me had broken. Trust was gone, replaced with doubt. Over the next weeks, I started noticing things I hadn't before: late-night messages, sudden excuses, strange gaps in his time. Eventually, the truth unfolded. Her name was Emily. She wasn't just a passing presence, she was part of his life. The discovery shattered me, yet it confirmed what I already knew deep down. He had checked out of our marriage long before that night. When I finally confronted him, he didn't argue. He just sighed and said quietly, "We've both been pretending, haven't we?" I wanted to scream, but instead, I nodded. That evening, he packed a bag and left. No fights, no dramatic words, just silence. Weeks later, I still think back to that night at the restaurant. That cruel twist of fate that revealed everything. A simple dinner that tore away the illusion we had been clinging to. I wonder sometimes if, without that moment, we would still be pretending. Or maybe life had grown tired of our charade and forced the truth into the open. The pain has dulled now. The anger, too. What's left is a strange sense of relief, an end to the pretending.